Hi, I'm Paul Griffiths and welcome to my YouTube channel. Come along and follow me on all sorts of meaningless, pointless adventures. You'll see how not to do things, you'll see how not to drive things, how not to fix things, and you'll probably see a lot of how to break things. You'll see things from farming to heavy construction to heavy vehicle repairs. You'll see electrical projects. You'll see all types of things, not limited to anything. So jump on board and come along for some adventure with, well, me. Have a bit of a laugh and maybe even learn something. Welcome back. When I left you in part 3, we just were waiting on these bits of aluminium to turn up and arrive on site. Now, they're here. Time to put my cunning and devious plan into action.
This is the new aluminium sides. Yeah, there'll be plenty of people in professional wanker land to be having conniptions. Oh my god, it's warped, they've done this wrong, they've done that wrong. Well, they've done what they thought was right. Anyway, it'll be good. It'll be a lot better than what's there. There's two 40-foot links there, all in one, and only warping is really just here, where the joins of the flats are, which was to be expected. We'll grind them back a bit. I hope they've done a good job of it. Anyway, time will tell. This is before we start on this side. You can see how much the corrosion is. We'll pull all this off in a minute, or next few hours anyway, and get an idea of just how bad it is, and hopefully the trailer doesn't drop apart in the ground. I don't think it will. It's a lot stronger than we think. And although those new sections look a bit warped in spots, we'll wait and see. Once I got these little covers off, you can see the true extent of the corrosion all the way along. That might explain why I want to do something before I go on the road with it, because, well, there's actually not a lot there holding it all together. So we'll fix that up and it'll be nice and strong, hopefully. It's about 6:30 at night. I've had enough. And my beautiful Mack. There's big long bits of aluminium. I don't know if it's all going to work. I bloody hope so. This is sort of down about here. Getting all these rivets and bolts, mainly bolts out. A couple of them are good old sockets I've had for years. Obviously very commonly used ones. Actually I notice a few of them are getting like it now. They're actually badly worn and they won't grip bolts properly if they're not perfect. Have to cut the top off them. So we're back onto a fresh surface to grip from. 9/16.5 inch anyway. Every bolt's different along here. Some are Whitworth, some are metric, some are imperial. It's just, they did what they did, I guess. The nearest bolt close enough was the one they needed. Anyway, so we're down to here. We've got that to go. So there's 100 bolts to here have to come out. So we've got 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 120. And this side will come off. No, not that easy. I bet it won't be. You'll have to drill out some more rivets and yeah, it'll just keep on going on for a few hours. So that's probably not too bad, because it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock when I started, and that's 2.5 hours. There's a fair bit in it, but it's like, you just look at how corroded it is all the way along. That actually holds the flooring up here, so it's got to be fixed. Anyway, we'll see how we go. See you in the morning. Today's the start of day 9, I think. I didn't actually say what I did yesterday at all, really, so get my diary complete. We had a broken leaf in the back spring on this one. I changed that on this rear axle. That's a cool morning. The bolts that hold the springs in, I'll go under the spring to stop them coming out. I'll put all those in, tighten them up. The T-bolts on the maxi cans. Tighten them up. We've just been doing... I was waiting for this aluminium. I did not want to start taking this out in case they turn around and say, oh no, we can't do it anymore. So there was something else I can't remember now. I had to meet the bloke for the aluminium to get it welded first, to give him some instructions. I'm not overly happy with the job, I can tell you. It's not one I would do. It's just me though, so... Well, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on day, whatever it is, 9 I think it is. We've been just getting the side off the combing rail bit off the side, and well, guess what? It's finally up on the ground. Now, one of the problems we've had, there's been many of them, is every bolt's a different size, and of course everything's corroded, and there's rivets, and there's this and there's that. But this here is part of the old floor, and the extrusion is, I just thought it was like an angle line like that. But it's not, it actually goes up like this, and then there's a bit welded, extrude onto the side, and the original floor is welded into there. Aluminium floor, so it would have been waterproof. So you can see, there's a bit of floor here. That's trying to figure out what's going on. I've got all the bolts out. There's some more floor here. Some floor there, this is it here, some up here as well, then back up towards the front, but that only goes in, well, you can see how far that goes in, it's about 6 inches. And on the ground here, in this pile of stuff, there we go, there's a bit of floor, look at that, checker plate. Aluminium, there's a bit off the side. Okay, well, this is in. A couple of straps, some blocks of wood, and a few little hammers and wedges and things, and it's in. Look at that. That looks 1,000 times better. Well, of course, it's got to bolt it up, but a bit of a shame about some of this professional welding. Jesus. I don't know if anyone who watches this watches Roadkill. Someone said about Finnegan's headers he made for his Blasphemy 55 Chev. Gasser. Looks like Ray Charles welded it with his feet. My God. And these blokes had the audacity yesterday morning to say, we're well better than you, Paul, because we do it all day, every day. They're professionals. That's atrocious. I mean, by George, that's atrocious. What is the go with this? They didn't think to grind it back out and have another go? Unbelievable, Dale. Okay. End of day 10. This is up and in. We've started bolting it off down here. It's a bit of a slow process. That gives you no perception at all. Anyway, that's because it's so dark too. But doesn't that look like 1,000% better? Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going back and get my tea and have a tub. That's a tub, not a tub. It's a lot of work, but Jesus, it's worth it. Like, it is so much stronger. It would have been stronger had it not been butchered and someone pulled the old floor out and replaced it with wood that doesn't actually join to anything. Sunday morning again. Talking about this. They're professional welders too. I did have a look at this one up here before I put it on. It's only doing it wherever it is. Just here. Looks like it might actually have been welded. That is atrocious. It was once called workmanship, or pride in it all. It's just atrocious. I have to I need to have a look at the other one before I put it on. And make sure that it is actually welded properly.
Now people will be wondering why I just didn't take these bits of aluminium back and say, listen, lug nuts, weld it up properly, do what you're paid to do and just get it done. Well, it's not really the way I would. If I have a problem, I just go until I solve it. Normally I would just weld this myself, and I'm not a perfect welder, but bloomin' heck, this is pretty ordinary.
And the reason I'm, what's the right word for it? Anal. This takes a lot of strain, this bottom strip. It's actually a lot of the strength in it all. And so is the side strip as well. It's all part of it. It's just gives you the shit when people. I'm sure if I took it around there, they'd go, well, it might be an issue, but it is. It is to me. You pay good money, I expect something to be done right. We paid a lot of money for shit welding. This joint's fine. This one up here is only half done. Unbelievable. Not sure whether you can see what I'm on about. Apart from the atrocious welding, it's only been welded on one side. It's terrible. So actually, just the way I did actually check this one before. I just checked the joint in the middle. But this is only in the last 12 inches of the trailer, 14 inches. And so if we look underneath, there's only one cross member and it's actually right on the joint. And I don't know what else I was going to say then. Must have been important. When it comes to the I've got this big steel subframe underneath where the trailer axles are bolted to. So it's not as critical. It's still very disappointing though. Not happy, Jane. If I remember, I'd like to time how long it takes me to do the other side. I reckon I've already spent 8 or 9 hours, 10 hours on this. I reckon it'll be at least 12 hours by the time I get all the big bolts in. That's not including all the little 1/4 inch ones to replace all the rivets that will come out. Yes, that's what I'd like to do. So here we go. Got to remember though. Alright, so all the 3/8 bolts are in. Done up all the way along the bottom section here. It's 11 o'clock, so that's taken me about 4 hours. 4.5 hours just to get all that done. Gotta trim off the back of the bolts up under the wheels up here. We'll be and just where the wheels are. And then put the 1/4 inch bolts in, but they can wait until let's do the other side now. It's going to be quite the challenge to get my arm through the hole and do the doohickey up. Just take a note of this. We're only going up to the gooseneck part there. Have a look at this wall. She's bowed in, she's bowed out.
So if you can have a look in the things I've highlighted red, you can see how much that wall bows in, bows out, bows in, bows out, and just keeps on going. But when I put the new side on, it actually pulls it all back in a lot straighter. It's almost like it's got a string line on once it's done. That really makes a big difference. If we compare it to this side over here, what we've done, it's neat, it's tidy. The only thing that looks a bit shit are these bolts are on angle, some of them, because someone in inverted wisdom welded bits of like 1/2 inch by 6 inch plate between the bearers. And I can't get the bolts in, and I don't have a bolt 6 inches long, and even if I did, I don't have a drill bit that long. We don't need to cut any more stuff out of this trailer. We're trying to make it stronger, not weaker.
Yeah, I don't know if I said it or not, but it's about 20 to 12, quarter to 12. We'll have a quick bite to eat. We'll see how far we get by this afternoon. Like, it doesn't look too bad at a glance, but let's see if we can get the camera to shine in here properly. If you look along there, you can see all the shininess where the gap is corroded off all the way along, end to end, and that actually holds the floor to the walls, to the roof, to the axles and everything. The only thing that's kept this together is a steel frame that someone's welded in here, which probably actually made it worse, not better, made it stronger. So there you go, that's what we fixed. It's amazing, Paul. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock on the dot. So take a bit of notice of how stuffed this side is. So this bit that I'm replacing holds the floor to the walls, to the triaxle end. Everything is sort of held together by, it's all part and parcel of it, but it joins a lot of it. It's amazing. So now we go along, and we take all the bolts out. I've worked out that if I can't get a grip on the socket, I'm actually better off just to drill up the bolt and then drill the head off. It's much quicker than trying to grind it or cut it off. Probably, yeah, no, well, yeah, most of the spots it is anyway. Doesn't look like there's as many bolts on this side as the other, so hopefully won't, because they take a long time to get all them out. Anyway, lunchtime. Okay, 7 o'clock at night, time to start this at 7 hours, say 6.5, because I've had some lunch. I've got all the bits and pieces of stuff off, all the way along. It's taken 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours. Okay, you can see all the bolts are out, all the rivets are out. We've got the light on the camera, because it's nearly dark. All the way along. So we've got a few bits of floor we're going to cut up there, up in here, disconnect the lights. Just be chopping them off. There's more stuff off the side. There's my shoe. That's how big it is. How much crap's come out of the side of this. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be out in an hour or so in the morning, and then we'll start putting a new one back in. Got to take it out, then clean all the crap off behind, and we'll be good to go. So this is day, I don't know, something or other, 11. It's Sunday. We're on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's day 11. We're getting a lot closer, like you just would not believe. Like day 1 I got here, we didn't even shift the thing. It was probably lunchtime on day 2 that we actually started work, because I had to uncouple it off the Mack, if you remember, and then, so we've done a huge amount, considering it's just me. Anyway, peoples, finally able to get cleaned up and have tea. Okay, so after much cutting and grinding and everything else, we've got the strip off. The combing rail, I don't know what you call it. This is like 1/4 inch thick of caked on whatever it is. All the way along. The steel isn't corroded. The aluminium that's actually touching isn't that bad either. It's just amazing. Like it's probably down to half thickness. But it's probably, like, that's probably 1.5 mil thick, and this is probably 2 mil thick. It's just all the way along. That difference is unbelievable. Just swells up, pops rivets off. Anyway, we'll keep on working. Got to get out of here one day. Before I put this other side on, just have a look at how bad that corrosion was from end to end. It's not joined in one place. It's quite bad. It's about 10:30. The new bit's in, so it's about 3.5 hours to get the old one out and the new one in. At the end of the day, something or other, Tuesday. There's something. Started not last Thursday, the Thursday before, so it was the end of week and a bit, week and a half. Besides, instead of having these bolts on an angle, I'll show you quickly what I'm talking about. Because they've welded plates and stuff in behind, some of these bolts ended up on big angles because there's not enough room for the nuts. So, not very happy with that look. So over here, I cut half the head off the bolt so it'll fit in there, and put it out this way and we'll just lock it off. Got to cut it off underneath anyway to clear the tyres. So that's sort of what happened here and there. This side's pretty much all done. It's a massive job. But, it's going to be so much stronger, like it's actually all attached now. Tomorrow, it's up past 6 at night now, so tomorrow we'll do this front bit over the goose. They're actually starting the other side because it's in the shade first. It's in the shade in the morning. And we'll see how we go. Even though it doesn't look that bad, if you can see him behind here, all the way along, it's corroded out. So it means that all these attachment points, you get the picture anyway, all these rivets here aren't doing anything. And most of these rivets on the bottom here actually aren't doing anything because they're not even attached. When we drill out the top ones, they just sort of fall off. So if you look here, this is broken here and here, and the same over the other side. So this is being broken here and here, and up there, and over the other side. Now they put plates and things on to try to stop that happening. I reckon the reason that's happened is because nothing's attached underneath here, not because of any other reason. I don't think there's anything weak about it, it's just that most of it's missing.
Well, I reckon I'll finish the video about here. It took about a day and a half to get that side done, the driver's side in Australia, the passenger side in America. I'm very, very, very disappointed in that welding, and I don't know what else I could have done. But apart from that, I'm having a ball, getting absolutely filthy dirty, so exhausted, high humidity, high temperature, and, well, just basically living a dream up there. I don't know how else to explain it. But anyway, I hope you've had fun watching the stupidity. And see you next time for part 5, if you're interested.